success arrives with a sudden opportunity, a lucky break, or a powerful connection. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. Success comes quietly, built by decisions you repeat when no one is watching. As 2006 approaches, many people will carry the same habits, the same thinking, the same excuses into a new year, and then wonder why nothing changes. A new calendar does not create a new life. A new life is created only when you change the way you think, act, and respond to pressure. If you want to be successful in 2026, you must stop chasing shortcuts and start mastering fundamentals. There are only 3 things that decide success. Not 10, not 20, just 3. And most people fail because they ignore them while chasing everything else. The first thing you must master to be successful in 2026 is responsibility. Not the kind people talk about, but the kind people avoid. Real responsibility, not bad luck. Your choices. This is the hardest pill to swallow, and that's why most people never succeed. Blaming feels good. Responsibility feels heavy, but responsibility is power. The moment you stop blaming, you gain control. Jobs rejected him. Investors rejected him. He could have blamed the system. He could have blamed his background. Instead, he took responsibility for becoming better, learning faster, and adapting quicker. Responsibility forces growth. When you take responsibility, excuses disappear. You stop saying, "I can't," and start asking, "How can I?" That shift alone separates winners from victims. Most people want motivation. Successful people want accountability. Motivation comes and goes. Responsibility stays. When you accept responsibility, you stop waiting to be saved. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You start acting with what you have, even if it's small, especially when it's small. In 2026, success will belong to those who stop complaining and start owning every result. If you fail, you learn. If you fail, you learn. If you win, you build. Either way, you move forward. Responsibility removes emotional drama and replaces it with clarity. And clarity is dangerous in a good way. Responsibility also means understanding that no one owes you respect, money, attention, or success. You earn it daily, quietly. When you wake up late, waste time, scroll endlessly, avoid difficult work, and still expect success, you are lying to yourself. Responsibility forces you to confront uncomfortable truth. But that discomfort is temporary. Regret lasts much longer. If you want to be successful in 2026, start acting like the owner of your life, not the victim of circumstances. The second thing you must master for success in 2026 is long-term thinking. Most people live trapped in short-term emotion. They choose comfort today over growth tomorrow. They choose pleasure now over discipline later. They want results without patience. Success does not reward urgency, it rewards consistency. Jack Ma often spoke about planting trees. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. You water it daily without seeing results. That's how success works. Most people quit too early because they don't see immediate progress. They don't understand compounding. Long-term thinking changes how you use time. You stop asking what feels good now and start asking what will matter in 5 years. When you think long-term, you read instead of scrolling. You build skills instead of chasing trends. You invest in health instead of temporary pleasure. You build relationships instead of burning bridges. You accept slow growth because you understand exponential growth comes later. People who think short-term chase motivation. People who think long-term build systems. In 2006, information will not make people successful. Everyone has information. Execution will, and execution comes from patience. From showing up even when results are invisible. From working when no one is clapping. Long-term thinking also protects you from emotional decisions. You don't panic when things go wrong. You don't get arrogant when things go right. You stay steady, calm, focused. That steadiness is rare and powerful. Most people destroy their future because they cannot delay gratification. They want entertainment instead of education, likes instead of leverage, applause instead of assets. But success belongs to those who are willing to look boring today to look free tomorrow. Long-term thinkers are misunderstood in the beginning, but they are respected in the end. If you want to be successful in 2026, you must stop living like everything ends this year. Build as if your future depends on it, because it does. The third thing you must master for success in 2026 is emotional control. This is the skill most people ignore, yet it decides everything. Intelligence without emotional control is dangerous. Talent without emotional discipline is wasted. Emotional control means you don't let anger, fear, ego, or frustration control your decisions. Jack Ma didn't win because he was the smartest person in the room. He won because he stayed calm when others panicked. Emotional people react, successful people respond. In 2026, pressure will increase. Competition will increase. Noise will increase. Distractions will multiply. If you cannot control your emotions, you will sabotage yourself. You will quit when things get hard. You will argue instead of building. You will react instead of planning. Emotional control allows you to think clearly in chaos. It allows you to stay patient when others rush. It allows you to stay humble when others become arrogant. Most failures are emotional, not intellectual. People know what to do, but they don't do it because they feel lazy, scared, tired, or bored. Emotional control means doing the work even when you don't feel like it. It means staying silent when your ego wants to speak. It means walking away from distractions that feel good but cost you progress. Emotional control turns discipline into a habit. People with emotional control don't seek validation. They don't chase approval. They don't need to prove themselves loudly. Their confidence is quiet. Their energy is focused. Their progress is consistent. This scares insecure people but attracts opportunities. In 2026, emotional intelligence will be more valuable than raw talent, because talent without control collapses under pressure. Success is not about becoming someone else. It's about removing what weakens you. Remove excuses. Remove short-term thinking. Remove emotional instability. What remains is strength, and strength compounds. The world doesn't reward potential, it rewards proof. And proof comes from daily action aligned with long-term vision. This is not motivational talk. This is reality. The people who will win in 2026 are already changing how they think today. They are taking responsibility. They are thinking long-term. They are controlling their emotions. They are not loud, but they are consistent. They are not perfect, but they are disciplined. They are not lucky, but they are prepared. You don't become successful by knowing these things. You become successful by living them when it's boring, when it's uncomfortable, when nobody is watching, and when results are silent. The third thing that will decide your success in 2026 is something most people completely misunderstand. They think success comes from talent, intelligence, or luck. But what actually separates those who rise from those who stay stuck is how they manage pressure, failure, and uncertainty. Most people break not because they are weak, but because they were never trained to endure. When things don't work immediately, they panic. When effort doesn't bring fast reward, they doubt themselves. When life gets difficult, they look for escape instead of growth. Success is not about avoiding pressure. Success is about becoming someone who functions calmly inside pressure. Look at how most people react when something goes wrong. They complain, they blame, they emotionally collapse. They start questioning their worth. They look for motivation videos instead of solutions. They want comfort instead of clarity. But people who succeed think differently. When things break, they don't break with them. They slow down. But what made him different was not confidence, it was emotional control. He didn't let rejection define his future. He didn't turn temporary failure into permanent identity. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they emotionally quit too early. In 2006, your ability to stay calm when things are uncertain will be more valuable than any degree. Your ability to keep working when results are invisible will be more powerful than motivation. Your ability to stay disciplined when nobody is forcing you will determine everything. Understand this clearly. The world does not reward potential, it rewards endurance. Anyone can start when energy is high. Anyone can work when motivation is strong. Anyone can believe when results are visible. But only a few can continue when motivation is gone. When effort feels wasted, when progress is slow, and when nobody is cheering. That is where success is decided. Most people stop too soon. They stop one step before the breakthrough. They stop one failure before learning the lesson that would change everything. They stop 1 year before the compound effect would start working. You must train yourself to stay longer than your emotions want to. Stop asking, how long will this take? Start asking, who am I becoming while I'm doing this? Because success is not something you reach, it's someone you become. Another hard truth, 2026 will not be easier than 2025. The world is not slowing down. Competition is not decreasing. Comfort is not disappearing. Distractions are increasing. Pressure is increasing. Expectations are increasing. So if you don't increase your internal strength, the external world will crush you. This is why emotional discipline matters. This is why patience matters. This is why resilience matters. You don't need to win every day. You just need to not quit. Some days you will feel powerful. Some days you will feel lost. Some days you will feel behind. Success doesn't require perfection. It requires continuity. One bad day doesn't ruin a year. One bad decision doesn't ruin a life. One failure doesn't mean you're finished, but quitting does. If you want to be successful in 2026, stop living emotionally and start living intentionally. Do not let moods decide your actions. Do not let fear decide your future. Do not let comfort decide your habit. Decide once and then repeat that decision every day. When you wake up tired, do it anyway. When nobody supports you, do it anyway. When results are slow, do it anyway. This is how ordinary people become unstoppable. And here is the final truth you must remember as 2026 approaches. You don't need a new year. You don't need permission. You don't need motivation. You need commitment. Commitment to show up. Commitment to show up. Commitment to improve. The people who will win in 2066 are not smarter than you. They are not luckier than you. They are simply more consistent under pressure. So decide now. Decide to work when it's hard. Decide to learn when it's uncomfortable. Decide to grow when it hurts. Because 1 year of disciplined focus can change the direction of your entire life. 2006 is not waiting for you to be ready. It's waiting to see who refuses to quit. And that person can be you if you decide today.